Hello, welcome to our webinar. Today we are going to present MatFlow, a solution designed to make master data management easier. My name is Aleksandra Borucka. I am from Marketing Department of BCC and I am the organizer of this event. Before we start, I have two short messages. The first one, the webinar is being recorded and then we will publish it on our website. And the second one, if you have any questions during the presentation, please use the chat window on your right side in the navigation panel. And just during the flow of presentation, we will collect all the questions and afterwards we will send you the answers. Now, Krzysztof Jusowski, please.
Welcome, my name is Krzysztof Ustovich. I am a SAP Materials Management Consultant working in BCC. I will present the solution named BCC MatFlow that supports master data management. I am one of the co-authors of the solution. So let me present you the agenda for the presentation. First, I will introduce BCC as a company shortly. Then I will discuss usual problems that occur in organizations regarding the master data management. Afterwards, I will try to justify why BCC MatFlow and SAP Business Workflow are the right tools that can solve those problems. After that, I will describe the model process that is implemented in the tool, and after that I will present two tools that are part of the solution, which is Material Master Requisition Document and the Master Data Project Document. I will also describe in detail a typical complete process for the finished good, and then I will switch to the SAP system and I will try to show this process in the system, in our demo system. BCC is a company that has 20 years of experience and is in the market since 1995. We have more than 200 specialists, consultants, developers, project managers. We have completed more than 1,000 projects for more than 400 customers in Poland as well as abroad. We have more than 50 countries. Clients are from more than 50 countries. We have more than 200 outsourcing contracts, 2 data centers. Organization has we follow the ISO standards like 20,000 or 9001, and we have more than 80 million of revenue. As you can see in the slide, there are logos of our clients from abroad as well as from the local market in Poland. After this brief introduction, let me go to the problems that occur in organizations while maintaining master data. So the usual problems that occur are such that master data is not maintained on time. So companies may suffer from delays. Material master data cannot be maintained completely, so it may cause some interruptions. Material master data might be maintained incorrectly, which can lead to errors in postings in SAP. Material data can be duplicated, so there might be large redundancy and unneeded data in the system. And material master data creation process is difficult to execute. It's difficult to execute mainly because of the coordination aspect. A material that has a complex representation in SAP, such as a finished good, requires many objects to be created in SAP to make it work in the regular processes. And usually these objects are maintained by different people, so the coordination of this process is problematic. And the last but but not least, material master data creation process that is not supported by any tool cannot be effectively tracked and audited. These problems occur mainly because there is no process which is not properly designed, and this process is not supported by the appropriate tool. The process, as usual, that is not supported by any tool for the material master data management looks more or less as shown in the slide. So somehow this process is executed because it must be executed as finished goods are manufactured and they are put in stock. So master data must be somehow created, but people may not know how it happens and are not fully aware of the sequence of tasks, and there is a lot of email communication that goes between those people. So the process is unorganized, chaotic, and not auditable, and tasks are often executed ad hoc. So such an organization can cause the problems that I described. The solution is to design a robust, repeatable process. This is the most important thing, to have a repeatable process. So we shall know who does what, does when, and with what data. Then, when we have a process that is designed, we should implement a solution, a tool that will support this process. A solution, the best tool to solve such problems are process execution, like task sequence control, task allocation to users, process monitoring, tracking, and auditing. So we need a tool that will support these elements. The tool appropriate for it is, in SAP, is SAP Business Workflow technology. And this technology, SAP Business Workflow, is actually a technical basis for our product, which is BCC MatFlow. When you implement this, the workflow-based solutions such as BCC MatFlow, the process should look as follows. Yes, everybody knows which tasks he or she is responsible for. The process is well defined, so well we know the tasks, like execute A, execute B. So we know the tasks by name, and we know when which task occurs, after which task, and which task is another one. So people are fully aware of the sequence of tasks, and such processes are organized, automated, and they can be easily tracked in the tool, and everybody knows who is responsible for what. So this is the ultimate aim of this tool, to make a process clear and organized. BCC MatFlow is not only a tool in the sense of IT technology. We propose a process-oriented approach that the tool supports. So when you implement BCC MatFlow, you decide for the material master data management process to look more or less as the tool is designed. So the basic process for the material master management is as follows. The requisitioners are people in organization that who have needs to create new material masters. These people can be people responsible for the R&D, so research and development for finished goods or semi-finished goods. Those people can be buyers or people in the marketing department. And the idea of the solution is to give them a tool to request changes to the material master data. So creations of new materials, extension of materials to new organizational units, deletions of materials. The idea is to give them a tool to request it, but not to perform these actions directly on the database. So because the idea behind the solution is to centralize the responsibility for the ultimate material master data creation. So as you can see in the slide, there is a master data team, which are people who receive requests from Okay. Maybe I will repeat this slide because we had some problems with the sound. So maybe I will introduce the process one more time. So the process that is proposed in the tool is based on the common process that is based on the request. So the idea behind implementing the tool is to centralize the material master data management so that the expert is responsible for the generation of material master. However, the needs for new materials occur in the organization in many departments, such as, let's say, buyers can need new materials, the R&D department can need new materials. So the idea is to give those people in the organization a tool to request changes to material master data, creations of new material masters, changes, deletions, etc. But they should not have any rights to standard transactions to manage material master data. So the main idea is to give people only the right to request material masters, but not to create them. So the process looks as follows. First, a person in an organization has a need for new material. This is where the process begins with the green dot. Then the person creates a material master requisition, which is a document in the system, a new system document that carries a data for a new material or a changed material. When the person decides to release the material master requisition, he or she releases it to the workflow, and workflow routes this request either to approvers, which is optional step, but ultimately such requests are sent to the master data team. the master data team verifies material master requisitions. This verification might be complex because the master data team can edit the requisition, and the requisition might be rejected or accepted. If it's rejected, the requisitioner has a right to release this requisition again after changes, or he or she can withdraw such a requisition if it's not needed anymore. If the request is accepted, then all changes to material master are generated in the database. And what is more important, after this, we execute subsequent actions that are required for each material type. So the subsequent process heavily depends on the material type. For example, finished good may require to create bill of material, routings, price calculations, etc. This process design has been evolving over past three years and is based on the real experience. And it's already implemented for a few BCC clients. Let me clarify the purpose of the material master requisition document. So basically, this document should capture the need for material where this need originates. So for example, the buyer needs a new material, then the buyer creates a material master requisition for the material. However, we would like to capture this need in a structured system-based manner, because often such needs are captured in emails, as shown previously in the presentation. We would like to allow a business user to have influence on material master fields, because many of them control business processes. However, because it's only a requisition, we do not frustrate him or her that entries in the fields are final and immediately productive. They are not, because the requisition is sent via workflow and only the master data team, the expert, accepts the changes or rejects them. We would like to allow a business user to work on requisition comfortably, so we make use of the reference materials, and standard search helps, and we also, so the person who fills the requisition sends this requisition without thinking of who should be informed, because the workflow will do that for that person. And the tool is responsible to trigger the appropriate workflow for every material type. So different workflows can be triggered for different material types. The ultimate aim of the solution is to provide the highest quality in the material master data management process. We want to have a material that is 100% ready for productive usage. The tool and the process implemented ensures that the material is really complete. We will show it in the demo system soon, and after the process in the demo, we will just make a goods receipt from the repetitive manufacturing, so that you can see that all the data that workflow supports is really complete. The document, the material master requisition document, is a new transaction in SAP, which is available under the new menu. It looks as shown. On the left there is a header section, and on the top right there are contents. As you can see, the contents of the requisition are actual fields of the material master data, but they are not stored in the same database as material masters. It's a completely separate set of database tables. Example process for a finished good creation in a repetitive manufacturing scenario. First, the material master requisition is created by the requisitioner. After that, when this person decides to send it, he or she releases the material master requisition to the workflow. The workflow routes the requisition to the business approver. This is optional. This is optional step. However, it may be implemented. And the most important step is when the material master requisition shows up in the inbox of the material master data expert, who verifies the requisition and makes a decision to release, accept the requisition and generate changes to material master data or reject it. This is the most important step. When the material is generated, then the subsequent process begins. And as I said before, it depends on the material type, because the material type has strong influence on what objects, what additional objects should be created for this material. So for a finished good in the repetitive manufacturing scenario, we need a bill of material, which can be created by a product engineer. We need to create and assign a routing by a process engineer. And when we have a typical production execution master data, we can create a cost collector, which is a required object in the repetitive manufacturing scenario. Then we can execute the finished good price calculation by the cost controller and release that price. In addition, we can also have some validation, some additional steps. For example, for finished goods, it is quite popular to verify the sales view in the material master by an additional person. For example, to check if the indicators that have influence on tax rates are correct. And this process will be shown in the system in a few minutes. The material master requisition and the process of creation of all master data for one material is the main element of the BCC MatFlow tool. However, each workflow based on a material requisition is a separate instance. It's a separate process that is valid only for this one material. But often, several materials are created during one distinctive undertaking. For example, a new family of products is going to hit the market soon. So it may occur that 20 materials should be created immediately as a one set of data. Therefore, the tool is needed to manage such projects, especially in terms of time, so that when processes for those 20 materials are executed, we know at which point each of these processes is. And this is supported by the master data project document, which is a tool that links those logically associated workflows together. Let me also clarify the master data project document. What is the purpose of it? We would like to register the project under a name and a title that is a free text. The master data project document enables to enter a person who is ultimately responsible for the project. For example, if the project is started as an initiative from the marketing, then this person is a person from the marketing department. There might be different project types. For example, new finished good. So then such project may require new finished goods representation for the material. It may require raw materials or semi-finished goods or any other additional. So the project type has influence on which material types are supported by the project. And the project document also enables to collect texts and attachments associated with the project, attachments in a common format like Excel spreadsheet, a Word document, etc. The project document also supports the determination of people who are responsible for particular material types. Well, sometimes such people can be called like business process owner, someone who initiates it. For example, it might be the manager of the R&D department if there is a new finished good to be created. And the project document automatically informs the right people that new work will be required in the project. For example, new materials will have to be requested. And finally, the project is a collector of workflows that are linked to this project. It will be visible in the example in the system. This is how the project document looks like. It's a very simple document in the system. The document has 4 tabs: main data, comments, users, and workflows. We will see it in the example in a few minutes. The tool is generally pre-configured. However, it might be configured to some extent and extended by custom developments as well. So, for example, in material requisition, we have fields from the material master data. These fields can be grouped in any way as needed. The standard out-of-the-box solution contains groups that are similar to the frames and tabs that can be seen in the standard transaction to create material masters. Field groups can be suppressed, so they are not visible depending on the material type. For example, if the production data is not needed for some marketing material, then it can be hidden depending on the material type. As you can seen previously, the transaction for the requisition has a logo. This logo can be altered easily to brand the solution as needed. The solution supports also the entry of so-called reference materials. Reference materials should be considered to be templates for new materials. So, for example, there might be a template for a finished good, there might be a template for any other material type. Project types supported by the project document can also be configured. So the behavior for each material type can be set up. BCC MatFlow tool is available in Polish and English. However, we can also prepare a translation to any other language if needed. And the tool requires SAP ERP system in the version of 6. It was developed on the NetWeaver application server 7.0. So any higher release should support the tool. Okay, so let me now jump to the system and start showing it how it looks in SAP. The tool can be easily accessed by entering ZWF in the field where normally transactions are entered. An area menu is shown here below, which is divided into 2 sections. One section is application and one section is configuration. As you can see, there are some configuration transactions, so the tool is really configurable to some extent. And we have, in the application section, we have 2 nodes, which is material requisition and MD project card. and the sub-business workplace. So these are the two elements, the main elements that form the solution. Material requisition, material master data project card, and the third element, which are workflows, is not visible because it's not a transaction. Yes, we will see workflows when we execute the processes. So first, let me create a project card. I will show you a demo. We will create a new bike. So this is a free text, so you can enter any text here. This is the text that describes this project. A new bike. I select the project type now. Here is only a default project type which is pre-configured. However, this project type, as you can see, can be extended. Each project is assigned to the plant where people who will participate in the project work. Then I choose the usage, which is any field that can be used to categorize the projects. I am the person who will initially request this project. And here there are three fields to enter any dates that can be used to monitor when this project should be completed. So let me put that I would like to have master data completed by the 30th of October. Plant readiness to production should be, let's say, 10th of November, and sales availability would be 12th. When I confirm this, I switch to the Users tab. Workflows tab is empty. I need to alter the configuration for a moment. Żeby się przestawił w konfiguracji. Okay, let me confirm one more time. Okay. Okay, as you can see, when I confirmed the project, I can see that I will be responsible for the finished product. So I will be the business owner to submit requests for the finished product. However, also people which are found here are also will be also enabled to request finished goods. These might be people who work with the business owner in one team. So, for example, in an R&D department. The workflow tabs is empty because this is a new project and we have no workflows yet. But when we will have one, I will come back to the project card and show how workflows are registered on this tab. Certainly, I will be the person who will perform all tasks because I'm the presenter of the demo, but normally these people are certainly different people. Okay, so when the project is created, it should be released. The release of the project causes that these people that are responsible for material types receive workflow task to confirm their participation in the project. Okay. So the project card has been released. And as you can see in my inbox, there is a participation confirmation task. It's the first task here, which came to me because I am the person responsible for the finished good. Certainly here on the demo system I am responsible for the other materials, but I will confirm only the finished product because we will produce a bike. When I confirm that the project will lead to the creations of new finished goods, the people who I work with will also receive notification via email. Okay, so now I confirmed that that I will participate in this project, and my team will request a new material for the finished good. Okay, so we have a project card. Now I will start to create a material requisition for a new bike. First, I create a material requisition header. In the header, I state what I request. So I request to create a new material. However, I can also request to change an existing material. I can also request to delete an existing material. When I choose create, I can request to create a new material from scratch, or I can extend a new material. So for example, when the material should be extended to a new plant but it already exists, we shall choose create extension. We will create new. Now I choose the material type to be created, and I put a reference to the material master data project card. Based on that reference, the workflow that will be based on this requisition will be visible under the project in the project card. Okay, when I confirm the first frame, on the right I can see the views that should be supported by this new material. As you can see, the system defaulted values. These values come from the standard material type configuration. So I will not require WM, I will not require quality management, forecasting, and work scheduling. Normally we configure this so that it's defaulted in such a way that users do not decide which views to create. And now I will use a special feature of the tool. I mentioned in the presentation about templates, about material templates. So the tool has additional search help for the material master field. It is visible here on the bottom, BCC MatFlow search help for reference materials. This search help is linked to a separate table where you can enter template materials. So those materials that are not productive, they are just created to make a life of the requisitioners easier. I will use 26 as a reference material. And now I select the organizational levels that will be used to fill the material requisition document. This is generally similar to the standard maintenance of the material master. Storage location for the finished goods, because we also need sales, we should enter the sales organization. And when these steps are finished, the header of the requisition is complete. At this point, I can save the requisition. So I got a number of 68. It's the number of the requisition, not a material. And I can come back at any point in time to finish this requisition. So as you can see, the tool supports a parking scenario which can be found also in materials management for the invoice verification. So you can stop working, you can stop your work at any point in time and just come back to it whenever it's needed. Standard transaction does not support this. Now I will go to the details. So I will create a bike. The date will be today, let's say. Certainly this is the name of the material. I put a bike and a date because just as an example. When I confirm this, you can see on the left there is the logo of the company. This logo can be altered, as I said before, and the size of this pane on the left can be adjusted to a resolution of the logo. Below the logo, there are data sections, which should be filled by the requisitioner. However, please bear in mind that the requisitioner may complete a requisition without any risk that this data will become productive, because the requisition will be accepted by the expert. So the person can enter values that are incorrect because they will be checked at least twice in the workflow process. However, if the person is strong, is well skilled in SAP, and such person will fill the requisition probably properly. Okay, so first, general data is the data at the client level. On the right, you can see the fields. The fields for the material master are arranged in such a way that the fields are arranged in a column, in one column. Yes, in one column we have fields, and each row represents one material master field. Such an arrangement of fields enables to easily add custom fields. The material requisition can be easily extended by custom fields. So for example, if your organization has 20 custom fields, then we can adjust the requisition almost at a glance to support these custom fields. And at each level, there are also field groups that I mentioned that can be configured in any way. In the standard package, they are configured more or less similar to how they are configured in the standard transaction. So you can select select a field group and check the values that were defaulted in this field group. When particular data level is more or less complete, then you can confirm this view and you get a tick, the green tick here, which says that this data has been created, has been entered actually. In terms of planned data, we have also views that people who work with SAP are familiar with, like MRP1 data, sales data, purchasing data, etc. As you can see, we request a material that will support the repetitive manufacturing scenario. Let me enter some, maybe I will enter some value somewhere. Let's say the GR processing time, I need one day. Okay, and then for example, I want an MRP controller to be assigned. So I will show you that it supports the standard search, the tool supports standard search helps. Yeah, so you can see I selected the MRP controller here, and I receive a standard search help for this field. When I also click F1, which is request for information about the field, I will also obtain a standard information for this field. The technical data that is visible on the right can be hidden easily. However, some people find it useful to see those technical values as well. Okay, I will confirm further data without many changes. Here, box 3. This is a screen to enter the units of measure. So now, the data in the main section, in all data levels, are arranged in a similar manner. Yes, so the fields are arranged in rows. In the additional data section, each data section has its own layout, which is quite similar to the standard one. Let me add that. Maybe it's not a good example, but we'll put 4 bikes or 2 bikes or 3 bikes on a pallet. Descriptions that can be maintained in any languages, and some classification for the sales. But please remember that all the data that I enter, it might be entered incorrectly. There is no risk to produce incorrect results in SAP and at this point in time. Also, not all data must be entered initially by the requisitioner. It is possible to send a request which is incomplete and and just ask the person who is the expert to complete this document. When the contents are saved of this section, we can see additional buttons here now. Now the user, the requester, is able to simulate whether the requisition is formally correct. If you get a green message, it means that such data will be loaded to the database of material masters. Okay, so now I decide to send it to the expert. I just click the Release to Workflow button, and I'm not thinking of who should receive this task. I know that the workflow that is behind will route this task to the proper expert. So I just click Yes, and from now on, if I go back to the document in a change mode, I still get a display mode because the requisition cannot be edited outside of the workflow environment anymore. So it is formally submitted for approval. Okay, so I will open my inbox because I am the expert here as well. And I can see material requisition 68 to process from me. Okay, and as you can see, the expert enters in addition mode. However, the expert has additional buttons here. So the expert can accept and so generate the material or reject it. And the expert can also edit the data he can enter any fields or correct those that exist. So the expert should verify all data sections and make sure that this data is formally correct for this material. Okay, let me accept this requisition. I will not reject it. And this decision will cause the generation of the new material. So we are sure at this point in the process that this data is formally correct, and the data that will be saved in the material master tables is really correct. And now I will go back for a moment to show you the project card. As you can see, in the project card, there is a process that is registered for this project. The process ID is 6693. We can see a yellow light here which says that the process is still ongoing. Yes, so we can monitor the progress of this process. We can see that the material that has been created has a number of 69 and the requisition was 68. There is no correlation between those numbers. Actually, it's just a coincidence that they are similar. So you can see that the material has been created. The material automatically obtained the workflow status, which restricts its usage. For example, you cannot post any goods movements for this material because the process of creating this material is not finished yet. We still need other master data. Now I will jump into the standard workflow log so I can see all actions that has been executed. So I can see that the requisition was created by user Yusovich K, and it was submitted at 11:49. And now there are some tasks in a ready status for other people. In the demo environment, there are some people, but also among them there is me, and I will complete these tasks. But you can see that the process sent all required data for this material type. So I will go back to my inbox and I will try to complete all tasks. So those 3 tasks from the top are those tasks that are part of this process. They are parallel, so they were sent in a parallel because, for example, there is no need to send a verification of the sales view before creation of the bill of material because there is no natural dependency between these tasks. So, for example, a salesperson can finish the verification of the sales view independently from the people responsible from the production. And so I verify that, for example, here the tax is missing. I will assign this value as well. I save it and I confirm. So this verification of the sales view is an exception, yes, to the rule, because normally the expert should verify everything. But sometimes there are requirements to add additional view to also introduce a third person that will verify the data that is really sensitive. Only the sales view is verified here by an additional expert. Now I will just confirm the classification data without creating it because it's not needed for the scenario. And let me enter the main process now. Because it's a finished good for repetitive manufacturing scenario, I will create all master data required for this. So first I will create a bill of material. As you can see, the workflow ensures that the transaction entered is executed with the proper material immediately. I receive the status that the material is processed by workflow, but it's yellow, so I can go further. And I just enter the bill of material for this bike. Yeah, so I put a frame and 2 wheels. So the bike is made of 1 main part and 2 wheels. I will also add a production storage location here. So now I am the person who is responsible for the bill of materials. Yeah. I save it and I confirm. Okay. And now another task was sent, which is please create or assign a routing for material. This is sent normally to a process engineer. Now I will create also a routing. So as you can see, the workflow routes tasks between all people that are involved to complete this material. Let me create a routing. One released. Operations. There is a work center. There will be one operation executed at the work center line 01, and this task is the bike construction. Yeah, bike construction, and it will take. Sorry, it's like that. Half an hour of machine time and half an hour of labor. These are just example values. Certainly, you can also go to the change mode here and assign any existing routing as well. I will confirm now. When we have a valid bill of material and a routing, another task is sent. This task is to create a production version, which is a connection between the bill of material and the specific routing. This task in this process is sent to the same person who created the routing after confirmation. However, it can also be a different person. Now I create a production version. I specify the routing. I specify the bill of material. I confirm the repetitive manufacturing scenario. Okay. I checked it. Okay, so the production version is complete. I can see that the routing has been assigned properly and the bill of material has been set properly. This is a standard transaction for the mass maintenance of production versions. When I save it, I go back. I confirm that the production version has been created, and now the workflow sends next tasks to the controlling department. Please maintain FI or CO data. Maybe I will show a project card back to see the process. So now I can see that many tasks have been completed, and another task which is ready, which is for the controlling module. Yeah? So the process can be easily tracked. Okay, I can, as a person who's responsible for the controlling data, I can verify the material accounting and costing data. I can see that the standard price is not set yet, and now we would like to do this. For that purpose, we will create a cost estimate. Let's say that for today. The system calculates the cost. As you can see, the costs of the product depend on what bill of material was assigned and what routing. From the routing, all operations obtain their values here, so that you can see that 1,000 of such bikes cost that amount to manufacture. So I save the cost estimate, and when the cost estimate is made, I can mark the price for release and then release it. So first, one of materials updated, so I will unmark the test run. One material, one cost estimate updated successfully. And now I would like to release that price. I switch to the release and I confirm. I can see that the price change document has been posted. Now, when I go back to the material, I can see that the system set up a proper standard price. And the last element is to create a cost collector for repetitive manufacturing scenario. Okay, cost collector has been created. And now, because costs result from bill of materials and routings, there is also a possibility to send the workflow back to people responsible for either bill of materials or routings, yes, because costs result either from this or this. So if anything is wrong with the creation of the cost estimate, then the workflow enables this person to inform via workflow the people who created the data that was who created the data earlier in the process. Now we can see that everything is correct, the price is calculated, it is set up properly, so I confirm. And now an expert, because this is another task, I received that because I perform all tasks, but normally this is a separate task that a master data expert who created the material, yes, receives. That major workflow path for the production planning and controlling, because these areas have so much additional master data. When it's completed, this person receives a notification, and now the material is activated. The activation of the material causes that the workflow itself sets up the AT, which is active status. And the process actually finishes now. It's ended. Additional email notifications are sent to a distribution list. A distribution list can be filled with SAP usernames or emails. And when I go back to the project card, we will see that the process has a green light, which means that it's completed. Now the material should be completed. Should be completed from A to Z, let's say. You can see that it obtained the status AT, which is active. So, having this, we now should be able to post a goods receipt from the repetitive manufacturing scenario, because we have all master data created. So I will confirm, let's say 2 bikes. I just enter 69. I receive all data is defaulted, production storage location, production version, 2 pieces, post. I can see that the system is going to consume for 2 bikes, 2 frames and 4 wheels. So these materials will be consumed from stock, and the 2 bikes will be posted to the storage location. Material document posted. When I display the document, I can see that the components were consumed and the bike is placed in the storage location. So this example shows that the workflow sent all tasks that needed to be done for that material to become fully correct, to enable the transactions with this material. We have come to the end of the presentation, and now I can also on the chat I can answer any questions if you have any.
It seems everything was quite clear, what Krzysztof said. There is no question, there are no questions. If you have any after we finish and we close the webinar, of course feel free to send us email and we will answer them. And for now, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.